Afternoon, Nuno.
Hello, Chris.
Just start with Pablo. You said last week, I think, you're hopeful that he'd get to join you soon. How's he getting on?
He didn't join us yet. He's starting his individual program, so improving day by day. And like I said, we keep assessing him and see when can he return.
No estimate at the moment of when he
Now, it all depends on him, depends on how we now adapt to the loads again. Hopefully soon we miss him.
How's the rest of the team in terms of fitness?
Oh, you know what it is, always knocks, things to assess. Training session tomorrow and then we travel.
How do you assess the last couple of games, Nuno? Because it's been 2 draws, but I think a lot of people who watch the game might argue that it could have been wins. How do you assess it and relate to it?
I think we perform well. Both of the games that you mentioned. Also, we perform well in the cup. We did the job that we had to do. So improvements. Unfortunately, some results are not coming, which we need. But in terms of performance, the team improving on different aspects. We get a clean sheet that always motivates us and makes us chase this main goal in our games. But we know that Saturday is going to be a new one, so new things will happen. But we are confident that we are performing well.
Because you're chasing at the moment. You're the team who needs to move up the table. So when you don't win those kind of games, where you have a lot of chances, especially the Bournemouth game, do you see them as drop points? And how do you kind of assess them with the squad?
No, we assess the reality that we played a good game, that we wanted to achieve a different result. It didn't came. Let's look at the game. Let's see the mistakes that we did. So improvement for the next one. We cannot stay too much time in sorrow and thinking what it could be. We have to react and bounce back.
This weekend gives you a chance to move out of the bottom 3. You'd have to win against Liverpool, which is obviously a tough ask. But what kind of motivation is that? And do you use that specifically with the team as motivation that you have got a chance to achieve that in the league?
We know this is going to be tough. Going to Anfield is always tough, but at the same time a big challenge for us. We're going to face a fantastic team with full of talented players that only can bring the best out of us. This is what our major motivation is, and realize that we have to, like we said, keep chasing. It's going to be a fight.
How do you feel about being the chasers at the moment, being the underdogs?
It's a reality, Chris. It's the reality. It's the reality. It's been that for some while now. We are in the fight.
But is the team ready potentially to switch it round if you were to get out of the bottom?
We have to play the game and then we see.
Clean sheets have come recently, and obviously it didn't quite happen against Man United, but I think everyone would argue that defensively the organisation has looked solid in recent weeks. What's been the key behind that, and also what have you made of the partnership of Disasi and Mavropanos in recent weeks? Why is that working so well?
Every time that we speak about our defensive organisation, it comes from all the team, not only the back line. It comes from our striker, the way we organize, the way we intend to press. I think we are growing in that aspect of the game, which improves our defensive organisation. But I think players have been knowing each other better, realizing that it's a team effort. To achieve a clean sheet in the Premier League, it has to be a team effort.
The last time we played Liverpool was at the end of November. What do you think the differences now are between that team, that West Ham team, who lost 2-0 that day, and this West Ham team now, who's closed the gap to 2 points?
No, the difference are that we are in a different moment of the season. Different players are playing, which makes the game different. And we know that we played at home against Liverpool. Now it's at Anfield. We know how tough it's going to be. So new things. I always think that the game is new things happening, require new questions, new answers, new challenge, individual for us. But we are ready to play the game.
Is the mentality of the team different, do you think? Is it are the team in a different space, do you think, with the confidence, with how they play?
Good performances always helps in terms of atmosphere, always helps. I think it was a very good week of work. The boys are hard and well. We still have tomorrow, but the atmosphere is good. So we are confident, realizing how tough it's going to be, but we want to challenge it.
Can I just ask one tactical question about the last game? You only used 2 subs in that game against Bournemouth. I guess on paper, people might have seen the Traore potentially as someone who might come on and change the game? How come he left out, and how come you only used 2 subs in that?
Look, always the same. We look at the game, we see, and we think what the team needs. We decided not to make too many subs because the team was doing well, but the subs are here for us to use them at the right moments. We have options, all requires on what the game demands.
Thanks.
Thank you, Chris.
Roger. Hi, Nuno.
Hello.
Hi. You mentioned a couple of times that going to Anfield playing Liverpool is tough, but this season they've lost a few there, they've drawn a few there, they've dropped more points than you might expect. Is it perhaps not as daunting going to Anfield now as it has been in previous seasons?
It's always tough, no matter which position Liverpool is, no matter which conditions we are. It's always tough because it's a great team. It's a very good team of football.
You won there last season as a manager. You also got a draw against Liverpool as a manager last season. Do you feel it's a good match for you? Have you got the formula? Have you worked out Liverpool?
Let's see. Let's play the game. Like I said, I think it was a good week. It was a good week of work. We prepared it well. We still have tomorrow to put it together, travel and play the game. New things will happen. What happened in the past doesn't affect what's going to happen in the Saturday.
We saw last week, and we've seen it across the season, Liverpool have a tendency to get late goals. They play right to the end. They score more goals in the 90th minute or stoppage time than anyone else in the Premier League. How do you get that message across to your team, bearing in mind late goals conceded against Manchester United, against Chelsea and Forest in recent matches? How can you influence that?
We influence the other way around. We said minute one is important. Then play the game, action after action. Don't think about the late, think about the minute one. Switch on and play. Action after action. What I ask is focus, total concentration during the game.
When a team has conceded late goals, as you have recently, and you're playing a team that's scored lots of late goals, can it, in that last 10 minutes, can it start to get into the players' minds?
I hope not. It happened to us before. I think we are trying to correct it because it's been really damaging for us in terms of performance, results, the overcome, the feeling after that. We are improving on that, but we are not thinking about the late minutes of the game. We are thinking about minute one. And now we are thinking before. Let's get ready tomorrow. Let's prepare ourselves well and play the game. It's not about the late minutes. It's about minute one and then the consequences of all of the game.
And just finally from me, just going into, you talked about chasing, and the teams are just above you, Tottenham, Nottingham Forest. They have a focus also with Europe as well, have European matches to fit into their schedule. Does that benefit you in any way, the fact that you perhaps have more space in between to work, more rest in between if you haven't got European matches?
Look, we deal with our reality. We have this week, we have days to prepare. Next week is going to be shorter, but I think all the squads in the Premier League are ready to face tough schedules in less days of recovering. So I don't see a big issue on that.